Hello and welcome to this iOS 7 programming tutorial. Today I'm gonna cover something very important for making your apps, and those are storyboards, which are basically the only way to have multiple windows, multiple views in your application so you're able to go from one window to another. First of all, let's go ahead and open Xcode. As always, we're just gonna have a simple view app, name it storyboard, example, let's go. Alright, so you can see you have a storyboard file which has a view. We've used this in the calculator before. So let's go ahead and drag a label and a button. Put it in the middle. Get a bit bigger. Center it. There we go. Same for the label. Let's make it a bit bigger. There we go. Oops. Center it. What else should we do? Let's make it a little cooler. There we go. We're gonna name the button go to second view and the label first view. Now, open the assistant editor, go to the .h file, and here we're gonna create an instance of the label. So just control drag. We're gonna name it first label. Now, the point of this tutorial is to see how to use multiple views. So we have to add one. Go back to the storyboard, and we're gonna go up here and add a new view controller. Let's do the same thing, add a label, second view, center, make it a bit bigger, also center the text, and let's add another button in the middle of the screen, right here. Sorry for that. Go to first view, attributed, plain again. This just changes the text very quickly. Now we have to connect both views. So in order to do that, control click on the button and drag to here. You're gonna select model. This has created a seg. This is a seg, it's basically a connection between different views. Click on it, and now let's go to attributes. Here is the identifier, where you can just name your seg in case you want to use it with code. We'll talk about that later. And style model and the transition. Oops, the transition by default is cover vertical. We're gonna use flip horizontal. Feel free to change it, doesn't make a difference really. In order to use this second view controller, we need to make a .m and a .h file. So in order to do that, control click on this folder here, new file, Objective-C class. It's gonna be second view controller subclass of UI view controller. Very nice. Next, just create it there, and let's go back to the storyboard. Now we have to click here, and in the identity inspector, which is here, we're gonna select second view controller. Enter. Move these files here just to make it easier. Now this view controller over here is linked to those two files, so now we can edit these two fields. Often we are going to want to pass information between different views. To do this, we're going to use what is called a prepare for seg method, which is called right before a view changes automatically. So go to the assistant editor, move this a little, to the .h file. We're gonna add the property for the view, second label. We're also gonna add another property, strong non-atomic, and string. Label text, which will hold the text we want to display. Now let's go to the .m file, go to view it load right here, and what we are going to do is before the view loads, we're gonna set the text in the label equal to whatever text that property has. So second label dot text is gonna be equal to label text. Okay. Now go back to the first storyboard view controller in here. Go ahead and close this. Go to the M file actually. No, sorry. Go to the H file. And we have to tell Xcode that the first and second storyboards are linked together. So in order to do that, you're gonna import. See, it said header. Well, second view controller.h. Now we are able to access all the fields in second view controller. So go to the M file now. And here we're gonna create a prepare for seg method. So void prepare for seg, just press tab. Second view controller destination vc is gonna be equal to seg destination view controller destination vc dot label text equals arrived from the first view. Yeah, that looks good. Alright, what this is doing, this right here is creating an instance of the second view controller. We're calling it destination VC, and then we're accessing the label text in the destination VC, which is our second view controller, and setting it to arrived from first view. Pretty straightforward. Now, we also would like a way to go back to our first view controller, and the most obvious way to do this would be to go back to the storyboard, do a control drag from here to here. But what that does is that it creates a new instance of this view controller every time we do it. So it wouldn't be very good for memory, especially if the user does it a lot of times. Our app will slow down. So what we're going to use is it's a feature of the storyboards called Unwind. Go to the storyboard view controller.m here and create another void method. Oh, never mind. It's gonna be an IV action. I was tired today. We'll call it return. It's not gonna be an ID sender. It's gonna be a UI storyboard seg. call it seg, and you just have to say first label dot text is gonna be equal to return from the second view. Oops, there we go. But we of course have to link this. We have to tell our app that we have returned, so it can change the text back. Go open the assistant editor for 1 second, and we're gonna go to the main storyboard, and in the second view we're gonna go control click on this button and drag it to exit. See how it shows return, the method we just created. If you have more than one unlinked methods, it would show them too, but in this case just click on return. That will link it, so whenever we click here, it's gonna close this view, go back here, and the IB action we said that would change the text of this label will be run. There is also another way of implementing segs with code. You would use a method called perform seg with identifier. I invite you to research that on your own. It's really simple. You just use the identifier we said here in the attributes inspector, and you would use that name to tell your app what identifier is to use when a button is clicked. But for now, let's just try and run this app. And let's see, first view, go to second view, click, change, right from the first view, go back, and return from the second view. It works perfectly, and we can do this as many times as we want without losing any memory. Alright, that's it for this tutorial. Thank you very much for watching, and hope to see you next time.